I'm all right. Smoke in the background. We got to get it with the smoke in the background. All the
Yeet.
smoke.
All the
What's
smoke.
good? What's good, y'all? Hey, GawdsCast. The end of 2021. GawdsCast. You're hanging with
Man.
Justin Henry, Daniel Norgard, and Clay is on the way. He gonna get on with us too. Isaiah Clay. Damn, we got to cover this championship week. Obviously, you were on a little bit earlier. Had some
Yeah.
info that you got. But we got to talk about this championship week. I think for this episode, let's answer any questions we got here on TikTok. Make sure y'all flood them in. Any questions you guys have on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, flood them in. But I want to talk about this year just overall for us, man. 2021, maybe not for fantasy. We can cover like fantasy football in general in a little while. But I think for fantasy guys, man, it's a hell of a year.
Yeah, I mean, hell of a year. We were talking in the Instagram chat, and like we were talking about business, right? We're talking about money, and that's kind of what we talk about a lot. And we figured we're like, what can we do? Like, what are the ideas? Like, why not just put it together and just see what happens? And one of the ideas was TikTok, and we started to create things. We started to do videos and figure out what works for us. And safe to say, man, this has worked. Over 24,000 followers, 1 million likes. I'm sorry, 1.1 million likes. We had a couple viral hits. We had the Bengals commenting on our stuff. Like, just an incredible year for 2021. I can't wait to see what 2022 brings us.
Hell yeah, man! Niners are on our shit. Everybody, man. It's been a hell of a year. Got a couple questions coming in real quick. Deontay Foreman or Boston Scott? Who do you like? I'm gonna step away for just a second. Who do you like?
Deontay Foreman, Boston Scott. I think I answered this earlier, and I'm gonna still roll with Boston Scott with no Miles Sanders. I think he has the most upside as far as the Eagles go. So give me all of Boston Scott. I just can't trust Tennessee anymore. I can't trust Tennessee no more, man.
Yeah, Boston Scott to me is the play. I don't know. I kind of like Foreman, but they're both kind of lower end RB2 options to me.
Yeah, definitely lower end.
Next one that came in. Damien Harris, Henderson, or Mike Williams. For me, I'm probably going with not Henderson. I think Henderson's out. He's on IR. Probably going with Damien Harris if Ramondre Stevenson isn't playing. Who you like?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Harris as well. I think that against the Jags, man, and that's kind of like a revenge game. I think wasn't Harris a ex-Jaguar? Yes. So yeah, revenge game. Let's go.
Let's get it. Damien Harris it is from me and Dan. If you are hanging out with us on TikTok, head over to the YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Me and Dan are both hanging out. Clay is on the way. I'm going to answer some more of your guys' questions. Appreciate the love and the support all season. Yes, Henderson is out. Yes, sir. Darrell Williams or Gronk at the flex. He has Kittle at tight end. Dan, I think I'm going to I probably would fade Gronk and just go with Darrell Williams if CEH is confirmed out.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm going to roll with Gronk, man. I just think that, Mike Williams, Antonio Brown kind of iffy. I mean, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown kind of iffy. I like Gronk to kind of get single coverage and, let's go get a touchdown, man. So give me Gronk.
Yes, sir. Dan says Gronk. I got Williams in that one for KC. Make sure you guys head over to YouTube, Twitch. We are both streaming live right now. My connection is coming in and out, unfortunately. Hopefully it gets all dialed in. Let's see. Start half flex PPR, Kirk, Chase Edmonds, or Kareem Hunt. Let's see. I probably would go with I'll probably go with Kirk on that one, man, just because I feel like that's probably the better matchup them against Dallas this week too. I'll go Christian Kirk.
Yeah, I'm gonna give me Chase Edmonds, man. I just that's our preseason sleeper and balled out last week. Let me get him one more time. Championship. Let's go get it.
Dan says Chase Edmonds with us. Our guy Sense, what's good? He's asking Chase Edmonds, Javonte Williams, Michael Carter, pick 2, no Tevin Coleman, and no James Conner probably. I think in that case you got to go with Edmonds and Javonte, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's for sure.
Rocking with the 2 obvious ones there. All right. Here we go. My RBs are done. Picked up Washington and Jaguars backups. How they looking? Jarrett Patterson And Ugwin Balwe. I know I'm butchering the hell out of his name, but Dare, man, who are you looking at? Dare or Patterson?
Go with the last name you can pronounce. It's gonna be Patterson for me. I think he's just a better better player. Yeah, man, it just fade all the Jags, man. I'm not against the Patriots, number one defense, man. It's probably a trap game. Keep it real, you're probably gonna have to bet on the Jags, and they probably Jags money line. But no, man, I can't do it. Just gonna fade every Jag.
Fade the Jags from Dan. All right, here we go. Huntley or Lance. Give me Trey Lance for the upside on that one. I know Dan's gonna say Huntley, but give me Trey Lance on that one.
Yeah.
Good question here. Do I replace Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, or CD Lamb this week for Amon-Ra St. Brown?
So you have both. Man, that's super tough. I probably would not. I probably would not fade either of them, all three of them. I know that's I think we got that question before. I think that dude probably asked the same question.
Yeah.
But no, you don't fade them. They're both like what the minimal upside that you get is kind of worth it to me. So give me the two Bengals and give me CD.
Let's get it. So he said no. Do not put in Amon-Ra St. Brown. Question coming in from TikTok, YouTube, or from Twitch, YouTube. My bad. Do you roll with the Rodgers -4 with no Kirk Cousins, or would you rather start Taysom Hill or Trey Lance? So we're gonna get a lot of Trey Lance, Taysom Hill questions. Obviously, Taysom Hill was out last week. Trey Lance expected to be the starter this week with Jimmy Garoppolo not practicing all week. Kirk Cousins is out, so it's one of those situations where I'm probably going to go with Trey Lance for the rushing upside, but Taysom Hill has the same upside. So Taysom Hill is a little more proven. You probably want to stick with Taysom Hill in this scenario over Trey Lance. Dan, you agree with that?
Well, I'm looking at the question and I'm saying, do I roll with Rodgers in a -4? Like, yes, I'm going to roll with Aaron Rodgers. So I'm just going to fade Trey Lance and Taysom Hill. Give me Aaron Rodgers to win a statement game Sunday night and propel himself to a bye week. So give me Rodgers, man.
That wind chill, man, that might be a factor in that late game.
Yeah, man.
Foster Monroe or Gerald Everett?
Actually, I had this question earlier too. I am playing Everett in the championship game just because I don't have access to Foster Monroe, but I think they're both great plays. I think it's just a gut feeling on this one. For me, it's going to be Everett. I like him against the Lions. I think that it's just he's just got that role right now, and Everett's just kind of like, look, Metcalf isn't doing his thing. Lockett's just kind of up and down for a tight end, and tight ends are just, they're horrible this year. It just sucks. Like without having an elite tight end, you're pretty much throwing a crapshoot. But I'm going with Everett, man. I like Everett in the game.
All right. Well, hey, listen, we got a few questions coming in from TikTok. I'm going to answer these rapid fire really quickly, all right? Boston Scott or Jared Patterson? Let's roll with Boston Scott on that one. Should I play Packers or Cowboys defense? Let's rock with the Packers defense on that one. No Kirk Cousins. Which running back do I sit? Swift, Michelle, Rojo? Probably, it just depends, man. It depends on is Swift a full go? I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he's looking like to play. Yeah, he should be playing.
Yeah, I would start Swift and Rojo then. What's up, old head? What's cracking? We bring in the new year with style. We the old heads, man. The old heads. Mike Will or Amon-Ra St. Brown. Rock with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I had a hard problem saying that. Championship talk only. Yes, sir. You love to see it. Happy New Year, my guy. Yes, sir. We rocking with you, man. Let's see. Are you in the championship game? Not in the Gods League, but Dan is. We on Twitch and YouTube chatting up right now. I missed out. Dan beat me, man. He beat me, bro. Shit's crazy, man. He beat me in that championship. I got another league on the championship.
They wouldn't come back next year. Can't have both gods.
Hey, I'll take my old man. Travis Kelsey, Taysom Hill, Tyreek was, man, you play like complete shit. Saquon let me down, bro. A whole bunch of bullshit happening. But no, not in the championship. Rice 26 said Happy New Year.
Happy
we rocking,
New Year,
man.
Happy New Year. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So the Negro Bear is asking Packers or Cowboys defense. I think this one just came in. Dan, I gave my take on the Packers side. What do you think about Cowboys?
Yeah, so the Cowboy side for me, I think they're absolutely running hot. And again, Kyler Murray is not as scary as you guys think. He's really lost without that number one receiver and DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, it just goes to show you. I mean, what would Rodgers be without Adams? I mean, it's still very difficult to do have elite games, fantasy elite games without your star quarterback. So I mean, wide receiver. So I'm rolling the Cowboys defense if I have them. Again, they got me there, and I don't think Kyler is as scary as one thinks. So give me the Cowboys.
All right, fair enough. I ain't mad at that take. Let's see, couple on TikTok. We got need to start a running back: Penny, Foreman, Howard, or Boston Scott. I think out of the options, I'm going for Rashad Penny in that one. Looks like the safest bet. Said Vin 1, bro. Appreciate you. I'm actually gonna follow you just because you said that, bro. We're gonna follow you back, dog. Let's see. So he said, "You guys help me win my ship in fantasy." That's love, bro.
That's love.
Like that's
Let's
love.
go.
That's what you love to see. Finn, my dude, you got the follow for that. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. You like this, man? Share it. Share the channel. Share the live. We on here to help y'all win. That's what the goal is, man. We're here to help y'all win, man. You love to see it. Speaking of somebody else who I know has benefited from the fantasy guys and wants to challenge us next year, my guy Jay Potter. What's good? He said, my guys, how we feeling with Rodgers, Adams, Terry, Pittman, Eckler, Kittle, St. Brown, San Francisco defense. How are you feeling about his championship chances this week?
Yeah, so I talked to James earlier when I was on, and I absolutely love his team. Hopefully he can lock it in. I already told him like the spot's reserved, man. He's in this God's league. I need him in here because he'd be talking, too much, and I need him to play. So, because we gotta beat him. He's benefiting too much for our advice. So we got to get him in. So,
we gotta show him what it really is. And there's the man himself, young Clay the God, stepping in late. Man. As usual, like the diva he is, man. What's good, Clay?
My bad, y'all. My bad. Sorry, these late runs to the store on New Year's Eve were not smart. That wasn't a good idea. Man, I should have thought about it.
I can only imagine, bro. So we got a few questions in right now. It said Cordell Patterson or Dare this week, man. Who you rocking with, Clay?
Man, that Cordell Patterson matchup has a lot of people shook. I don't think you should fade the guy that got you there, man. Cordell's been solid all year. Just go with him, man. I know the Bills are tough, but he gets enough touches to justify his start.
Absolutely love that take, man. One question we getting right now is Mahomes or Burrow for the Cup, and we can all say it. Say it with me. Never fade Mahomes. We're not fading Mahomes on this one. They go against each other, Burrow versus Mahomes. Casey's defense is a little underrated. Over the last 8 weeks, they've been shutting down the pass game, so we are not fading Mahomes in championship week.
Never
can't do it. Even after Burrow 500 though. Burrow threw for 500 last week.
No disrespect to Burrow, he's still good, but man, I'm never fading Mahomes. Now, if you say Mahomes or Josh Allen, then we got a conversation.
Not from Clay.
Josh
Not
Allen,
from Clay.
Man.
We know he's never starting Allen ever in any league.
Let's be honest. If you have Mahomes and Allen in the same league and you're not in a super flex, you should have sold them already.
Yeah, that's true.
Ooh,
you should have sold them. That's
true.
That's
true. Burrow didn't throw for 500 though. But Burrow didn't throw for 500 until last week though. That's the only thing. Now it's a question. It wouldn't have been a question if Burrow didn't throw for 500 last week.
Right. I mean, in a championship matchup, man, I'm putting the guy that got me there. Whoever that is. If it's Burrow, put in Burrow. If it's Mahomes, put in Mahomes.
All right. Well, Negro Bear's asking, what running back should I trade for? I only have Javonte and Saquon left. I'm assuming he means play. I'm not sure because trades are done right now.
If it's trade, if you have the ability to trade, then you only got a couple days left, man. Get on the phone and get it done. Obviously, we're trading. So we're gonna fade Saquon. So if anybody wants Saquon, maybe he becomes a keeper next year. Like I don't know what the value is you're gonna get out of Saquon for the last week or so, but get on the phone, see if you could trade maybe for Rojo. I'm just trying to think of a kind of a lower end player that you may be able to get some value out for the championship game. So I don't know, man. It's tough. I need to know more context, man. Give me some context. How can you be trading?
Get some context on there. Get
Yeah,
some context to us, man. We need something, man. Hurts or Herbert? We rocking with Jalen Hurts on that one, man. I am at least. And we start Jared Patterson in place of Gibson. Absolutely, Gibson. If he's out, is he confirmed out? Gibson?
Yeah, confirmed. Pretty well. Hang on, I don't think he's confirmed.
They said he was on the COVID list, I think, but I don't know if he can come back or not.
I think that might be.
Yeah, so it just depends on if he plays. But yes, he's a good start. So let's rock, man. You know what? We've been helping all year. We got our start sit tomorrow. If you guys are paying attention, we'll have our start sit tomorrow. We're going to make this one about us, man. Let's kick it for New Year's. We got like 5 people on the TikTok live. We got 3 people hanging out with us, man. So let's talk a little bit about this Gods League, bro. What kind of was your big takeaway? Clay, I want to start with you, man. Obviously, this year, let's talk about us, man. We rocked with this. We talked a little bit before you came on. We kind of rocked this thing from zero, dog. And we got some dope people in this Gods League on the Discord. Like, what was your thoughts overall on just the Gods League in general? Because this kind of came out of nowhere, and we're used to just rocking with us, like our tight friends. And this one, man, it came out of something special.
Yeah, I think it was dope how we got so many people who were just interested in fantasy football, and you have that common ground to where you can make a great league with great people who were willing to pay and join, and at the last minute. And I think a lot of times you see a lot of people, it's $100, it's it's hard, it's this, that. But I think with the Discord, with everybody that was in it, man, I didn't make the playoffs, so it hurt me personally because I'm in 8 leagues. I made playoffs in 5 of them, and the one of the 3 that I didn't make it in is this league. I had a little bit of bad luck mixed with some players that I probably shouldn't have drafted or overdrafted. So, with that being said, I lost. I'm going to take it on the chin like I always do. No excuses. So, you guys did well. Both you guys made it to the top 4, top 3, hopefully. And, we're going to try to do this next year, maybe make it bigger, maybe get 2 leagues, maybe get something different. So we're always trying to expand. We're always trying to find new people. Our league is full of great, great dudes. I mean, everybody from analytics to the gamblers to everything. It just works out well. Everybody's got a little piece, and we get new personalities from all over the world. So it's great to meet new people. It's great to have that same love of, football and, players, and just get a different aspect of this world. And it's just fun to play with. It's fun to have. And I couldn't ask for a better thing.
Facts. Yeah, and this TikTok thing, man, it kind of took us to a whole new level, obviously, with the reach and it helping out. And Dan, a lot of people have gotten to kind of see you, take off in this like statistical and analytical space and really provide some major takeaways for this season, man. Help a lot of people. Dan, what's been your impact so far on this league? As one of the questions, I guess we can kind of transition into this one after. I really like this question, so don't let me forget. But what's been your biggest takeaway just with the reach that we've had this year in our input and helping out others?
Yeah, I mean, it's what we live for, man. We've been doing fantasy for a long time, and we talked about it earlier in the summer. And just to be able to talk to people about fantasy football, which is our love, like it's our passion, man. We love talking about this stuff. We've been, doing it with our friends, and we talk shit and this, that, and the other. But we really do enjoy, seeing our knowledge play out, seeing it, I told you this guy was going to be good, and he's good. There's just so many things about that type of stuff that's fun. And then just going back to the league, just to touch on what Clay said, I really enjoy all of these people that are in the league, from the gamblers to the analytics to us. There's just so many good people in the league, and I'm hoping that the league continues. I'm hoping that we can get, maybe 1 or 2 more leagues in next year. I mean, I know it's tough with a lot of us. I'm in too many leagues this year, and I definitely won't be in that many for next year. But just to have the ability to be in this league was phenomenal. I mean, fantasy gods, man, we are in this league.
The gods, baby.
Yes, sir.
We 2 of us, made it to the top 4, and hopefully it can bring it home because Fuck Connor, dog.
I hope you bring it home too, man. And it's crazy, you know, when I start to think of it, like we came on kind of hot. People didn't know who we were. We came out of nowhere over summer. And it was like, we challenged a lot of people's original thoughts. Like, obviously, everybody's was like, oh, go draft Corey Davis. He's going to be this. Or go draft this person because they're going to have this type of upside. And one of them was Troutman. Like, go get Troutman. And we came out our guy, Cody, man. Cody, shout out to you, Fantasy Authority. I'm assuming that's you, my man. Much love, took it on the chin. And that's what it's about, man. You know, we kind of came on hot and a lot of people were like, oh, these guys don't know what they're talking about, or they're always just trying to talk shit and we're the toxic channel. And it's like, bro, it could be love. Like Cody's coming on saying, hey, trying to pay on the Troutman bet. It's love, dog. We ain't even got to pay on that. We're not collecting for that. It's all for the fun. You know what I'm saying? So much love to the Fantasy Authority. If you're still out there producing content, it's good.
Yeah, I'll say this, you know, if you do want to donate, you know, I think I made that bet with him that I said I'd pick something. So if you want to donate, just my personal opinion, it's always for the children. So St. Jude, I always thought that was a good spot to donate. So definitely go ahead and donate that 20 to St. Jude for me. But that's up to you, man. I ain't trying to pressure no one, but we told you Troutman ain't gonna be top 10. Get the heck out of here with Troutman, dog.
I can only imagine what next year is gonna look like. Elijah Moore in 4 games had this and this and that. Draft him as your wide receiver. I already can see this stuff. Jamar Chase is gonna be the wide receiver one for fantasy next year. Watch, bruh. It's gonna happen.
It always does. It always happens. People take these small how many
yards did Dak get? I need to know, dog.
We're not going into that right now. We're not going into Dak right now.
Did he get 6,000 yards? And
he got 6,000.
Hey, you know, so I actually looked this up the other day. Dak
he will break records this year. He will break records.
He will break records. He will. I called his ass and I was like,
how could he not? How could he not?
I was like, what? He was like, he will break records this year. Hey, Dak is at 3,800 yards right now, bro.
He only needs
1,000 a game. He only needs 1,000 a game.
Just 1,000 a game?
If Dak does 1,000 a game, he breaks it, bro.
Man,
he had got a chance. Game. Yeah,
he's got a chance.
Oh, he's got a chance. Yeah, for sure.
Nah, but we came on. This is how we've always talked to each other, though, man.
6,060. Did you say 6,060?
Oh my God! Somebody said 6,060. We're gonna pull up these comments. Hold on a minute. 6,060. Here it is right here, Dex. You know, hey,
come on, dog.
I know I had him flabbergasted. But we came in hot. They weren't ready for this, man. And I think a lot of people thought we were just making dumb content. But as you see, like in our comment section, you see in the chats, like people were getting some real value out of what we do, man. So it's a blessing to see, man. Let's get to some comments and we'll get back into like our season in review. This one says the commissioner didn't add a trade deadline. I had Henry Fournette IR. Only have Javonte Saquon left on my bench. I don't know if I should rock with them or try to get a different RB. So are you guys comfortable starting Javonte and Saquon this week? It depends on if Javonte plays, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I definitely more so Javonte than I am Saquon. I mean, I would look into, you know, if you can make some moves, it's tough, man. If you have a really good wide receiver, do your thing, but it's tough.
Who's gonna trade with you if they're not in the championship? Like, I mean, they would just be hating on somebody else to win, right? I mean, there's only 2 people left.
I know I'm crazy, but I'm like, I mean, what are you gonna do really much better than Saquon right now? I know he had 3 points last week, but it's like Saquon gets in there and gets his normal touches. He's normally around 10 to 15 points, even without a TD. Like, I mean, I know they're probably gonna start fading him and putting in Booker, but
I would say this, like, shoot us a DM, let us know, like, hey, like, these are the offers that are coming in, and then we'll help you out. So,
yeah.
Like, let us know.
I ain't gonna die no more on this Saquon hill, man.
Yeah, right.
I'm fucking dying on this hill.
It's a lonely one. It's a lonely one.
It's a lonely Saquon hill, man. He's gonna make me shed real tears at some point. What is your fantasy football resolutions for next year? That's a good question.
Man, you know what? And I would say you only have a resolution if you made a mistake in terms of the type of player that you drafted, right? Like, I would never say, like, okay, I drafted somebody that didn't have any talent or wasn't good, because they're all good, right?
Yeah.
They all have expectation, except for Mike Williams or Mike Davis. I'm sorry. But, you know, except for Mike Davis.
Mike Davis, come on, man. We're not exactly. Mike Davis.
No. I'll take Mike Davis over Joe Mixon.
Oh, see, this is why we call motherfuckers out, because Mike Davis, Joe Mixon thing, bro. When I heard that, hurt my soul when I saw it.
After I think he never he was on the rise and he just died.
Hey, he was an ascending fantasy analyst stops because fantasy gods call out a shitty take. Yo, but we ain't trying to kill the creators. It's just funny shit. Like, I don't know. The thing is, we had some dumbass takes too, so people came at us. It's not like we're gonna get all in our feelings.
We're not perfect. Nobody's perfect.
I mean, I said Saquon was a number 1 or 2 overall pick, and that looks like probably the worst take you could say out of anything. Like,
absolutely.
I don't know, man.
Absolutely.
I just don't get people getting mad about being wrong about fantasy. A lot of coaches, my bad. I don't mean to keep ranting.
No, you're fine.
Shit.
Scouts, anything.
Yeah, they don't even know. They go into the game like, you think Aaron Rodgers going to the game and he's like, I'm only going to throw for 250 and 2 this game. Like, that's not how it works. If Aaron Rodgers goes and exposes something in the middle of the game as you're playing, he might throw for 404. Like, or he might just have a tough matchup and be like, hey, we need to run the rock every play. They're shutting down the passing game. Aaron Jones goes for 4 TDs. So to get mad at your situation, like, oh, they were up against the 32nd ranked defense, or, oh man, they didn't perform. Like, we can't control that shit. It's fantasy football. It's one game. So don't take it. I mean, we're going to provide you advice, but it's like 55, 60%. Some of the analysts are like 40. It's like 50, 55, 60% right. You know what I mean? Like, there's no guarantees when it comes to football, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I would make a resolution. I mean, maybe, draft deeper for receivers, or, if you know what this COVID thing is about, maybe get the running back and try and just get guys that get high volumes, but that's, again, another look at a deeper dive of his stats and, usage, yards, stuff like that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I think when we draft in August, it's hard to project or hard to even see who will be utilizable in December between injuries, between COVID, between, trades, real life trades and fantasy trades. So it's kind of hard to like, say one thing that went wrong. Sometimes you can point to one thing during your season and say, oh, my star running back got hurt, so the rest of my team, it was a trickle down. But in terms of the way that you draft, if it works for me specifically, I don't really have any resolutions on what I do. I mean, I do what I do in the draft, and then I figure it out as the year goes. And then, by the time November, December comes around, I have a team that's just, it should get in some playoffs, and you're not going to win every league. That's just a fact. If you're in 4 leagues, if you made it to all 4, and, hey, you're a genius, but it doesn't happen like that always.
Yeah, a couple comments coming in from the gallery, man. Gotta love to see it, bro. One thing I want to talk about, obviously, Dan, you had a lot of questions when you were on live earlier about Trey Lance. And so, obviously, being a Niner fan, my opinion might be a little skewed. Dan, what's your thoughts on Trey Lance coming in this week? Because there is a lot of hype about him starting.
Yeah, I mean, if he starts, that's great. I mean, definitely want to see the young rookie get some more reps. I think he's kind of a, I had him the same way coming into this year as I did maybe going into next year. Like, I think he is a very, very late sleeper quarterback that can transform into a quarterback one. Like I think this year it was definitely Jalen Hurts. Took at him way later. I think Trey Lance will be taken even later next year in 2022 drafts. But I'm not going to play him this year. I'm not going to play him this week in the championship game on the line, ship on the line. I'm probably not going to do it. There's only a few quarterbacks that I probably would play over him. But most of these guys, like, again, for Huntley, Dak, Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, Brady, all these other guys, they're going to be in my starting lineup over Trey Lance. So for me, I'm fading most, if not all, of Trey Lance this week.
Well, for me, it doesn't – I mean, if you're in the championship, right, and, like, let's say one of your quarterbacks went down, I mean, Trey Lance is a very startable option. I mean, we're not talking about, like, he's not like Tim Boyle. Not that he's bad or anything, but Trey Lance has a better – Trey Lance has a better team. We've seen him in his starting role already this year, and he played very well. He has rushing upside. I mean, I don't know what's not to like about this kid, to be honest. And when you look at the competition, he's going up against Houston. They're traditionally not a good team, although they've been scrappy the last few games, and they fought back against some of these teams. But the Niners are a really good defensive team. They have great offensive weapons, and also the rushing upside. So to me, we're in week 17. If you're Kirk Cousins or one of these quarterbacks that, got on IR or got COVID, I mean, fire him up. I mean, I'm not hesitating. No, but if you have Trey Lance or one of your quarterbacks died, you don't have Dak. You don't have access to Dak.
Yep.
You don't have access to Tom Brady and all these other guys. Like, they're already on somebody's team who's lost. If you're in the championship and your quarterback is gone and you're in a super flex league, fire him up. Or even if you're not comfortable with your quarterback that you have in a tough matchup, fire him up. Matt Ryan is not a startable option. Like some of these cats that I have guys that are just not startable. If I had Trey Lance, fire him up. I mean, at minimum, I expect him to get at least 15 to 20 points.
That's not bad, man. 15 to 20 points for Trey Lance. You know what? And I will piggyback off of that, man. I think Trey Lance is very startable, and it does depend. If you have one of the rock-solid options that's been getting you over 20 fantasy points all year, don't do it. If you need upside in a bad matchup, start Trey Lance. If you're like the underdog and you need a little bit of extra love, Trey Lance is the type of guy you want to put in your lineup. If you just need I need a 15, 20-point guy this week, to be honest, Trey Lance is going to get that too. He enters right in where that Taysom Hill, Lamr Jackson, Brett Hundley, or whoever's starting this week, he enters that realm, that mid to late QB1. So it just depends on who you have. Like if you have a rock-solid option, like Joe Burrow is probably more startable option than Trey Lance. But then if I'm looking at, like you said, Matt Ryan, if I'm looking at some of those back-end QB1s, high-end QB2s, I'm throwing Trey Lance in there, man.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Ben Roethlisberger's going to waivers, bro.
Exactly. Like, I mean, Trey Lance, I mean, at least you're getting 50 rushing yards, like at worst. I mean, and that's not including a rushing touchdown. So
a question that came in. Oh, we forgot to answer this one real quick. Half-point PPR, Renfro, Cooks, Cordero. Who you rocking with, Dan?
Give me Renfro and give me Cordero.
Same.
Yeah.
Renfro, Cordero it is. I'm hurting at wide receiver 3, Ayuk, Osborne, or Anderson. Who we like?
Oh, like Robbie Anderson?
Man, it looks like Robbie Anderson.
Give me Brandon Ayuk.
Ayuk.
Best upside.
Osborne. Oh, no.
Like Osborne.
Kirk's out. Yeah, Kirk's out. Yeah. So Ayuk. All three of us say Ayuk. Jeff Wilson, Boston Scott, Patterson, RB2 and PPR.
Patterson.
I can't do I don't care how many touchdowns Boston Scott gets. I'm never starting him.
I never started Boston Scott. How you gonna start a guy named Boston in Philadelphia? That don't make no sense, man. So we're going with Patterson all day on that one. All right. So a question from the gallery we got: is Mike Davis the cheapest 3-down back available? And I want to just skip this question, but we're going to answer it anyway.
First of all, is he a 3-down back?
He's not a 3-down back.
He's not a 3-down back.
Is he a 2-down back?
Keep him on waivers. Like, he's not supposed to be.
Why is our show always consist of a Mike Davis section? Bro, it always is like some random ass like Mike Davis. Why do you have to talk about Mike Davis for 3-4 minutes?
Did Connor send the money, bro? Did Connor send the money?
I'm looking at my Cash App because I don't use Cash App, but I have it. Let me see. If it comes up, I'll show you guys. He had to be a top 40 running back, and he wasn't. I gave him some space too. I gave him leeway. I said if he's within 5 points of a top 12 running back, then he wins.
Mike Davis, what? You know what? I'm about to look this up.
Is he even top 40?
He's not even top 30. He's not even top 30, bro.
What number is Mike Davis? Because this is going to kill me right now. I don't want to hear shit about Mike Davis on a timeline, questions, anything about Mike Davis, waiver worthy, anything. Mike Davis on the season.
I'm going to use this on our league, the league that we have.
He's 36. He's
not top 25.
He's
36.
Mike Davis is a running back 4. Why are we still talking about him? Christian McCaffrey, who has played in 7 games, is still over Mike Davis.
That's a fact. Literally. Like, not even figuratively. Literally.
It's fact.
And so is Edmonds.
This guy sucks, dude.
Devontae Booker in a backup role is over Mike Davis right now. Why the hell are we talking about
the only thing that's keeping Mike Davis alive, and I'm just going to throw it out there just to give him one good thing, is he had 53 targets for 40 receptions. That's the only thing that keeps him alive, man.
I don't want to hear it. That don't mean shit. I do not care about Mike Davis. Most common name ever, man. We off Mike Davis.
We're done. All right, no more.
No more Mike Davis, man. AB or Diggs? Who we rocking with? AB
Diggs,
or Diggs?
baby, Diggs.
Diggs.
Not even
all
close.
the way. Diggs all the way. Robbie Anderson or Christian Kirk? Go with Christian Kirk, man. We're not touching Robbie Anderson. I think the Darnold thing makes people think, oh, Robbie Anderson's back. No, we still rocking with Christian Kirk on that one. Tyler Huntley or Taysom Hill? Go with Taysom Hill on that one over Tyler Huntley. Even though
I
Huntley's
like
going to ride
Huntley,
too.
bro. I like Huntley. He looking
Like
nice, bro.
Huntley?
When he's on that team, bro, I like him on that team. He fits well. He's a nice Lamar stand-in, and he's got Lamar's weapons. So,
all right, here's a real good one: Lance or Wilson, Russ or Lance. We got a few of them, so go ahead and we can do this one real quick because we got another one too, and then we can dive a little deeper into Lance.
go ahead, Dan.
I'm still gonna fade Trey Lance. Give me Russell Wilson in the championship game against Detroit.
Dang. Nah, I'm not fading. I'm not fading Trey, bro. Hey, Trey is going
to bust out the
eat,
jersey.
Bro. Hey, Trey is going to eat today against Houston.
You're right now.
I think Trey is going to eat, bro. I just have that feeling like, I mean, this is his chance to ball out the second to the last game. I mean, Trey is that dude. We've seen him start, like, not taking anything away from Russ, but if I'm looking for upside in this week 17 matchup, I'm rocking with Trey and not even thinking about it.
Rocking with Trey, not even thinking about it. I love it. Saquon or Ronald Jones. You're going with Ronald Jones for sure in that one. Tua over Lance then. Or Lance over Tua, I should say.
I'm probably going to go with I'm going with Tua, bro. I'm fading Trey Lance, dog. Fading Trey Lance, dog.
It's last season.
He just doesn't like it. It's fine. He just doesn't like Trey Lance. That's fine. That's his opinion. And hey, if I'm wrong about this, you guys can call me about it. But week 17, if I have somebody like those median quarterbacks, fire up Trey.
Look, for all the guys that are listening in, that are tuning in live, who's in the championship?
Come on,
that's all I'm gonna say, bro.
We're in the same amount of championships right now. Me and you are in the same amount.
There's only one that matters, baby. It's the Fantasy Gods League.
He got it right now. I'm gonna give him props. He got it right now.
You got it, bro.
Right.
You're good.
Who do you think is the safest handcuff to draft? If we're talking about next season, we got to see how free agency shakes out. There's a whole lot to play, but what handcuff right now? And actually, instead of going by player, let's go by position. We only are drafting, like, I think, to be honest, it's almost safer if there's like a stud wide receiver. Sometimes it's good to have that handcuff even more than, like, running back to me is just so hit and miss, bro. Is there even such thing as a safe handcuff?
I think that's a resolution for me, is to just don't touch the running back, like handcuff, because it's terrible. Look at what happened to Christian McCaffrey. Did Chuba come in behind him and play well? Like, look at that. Like, and even years past, I guess Mike Davis last year did okay. Sorry, we're talking about Mike again, but he actually had a good year after Christian McCaffrey got hurt. But I mean, generally speaking, the backup running back is never going to fulfill that role of the starter.
Never.
If they're really, really good, you know. And
I mean, what do we see?
They might have spot starts. They might have
like Pollard or Kareem Hunt.
Madison, Kareem Hunt,
but it's like they're starters. They're like 1A and 1B. They were playing well even when the starter.
We saw Dearness Johnson come in and handle the rock and tote the rock. So it's like at some point, you know, and a lot of people are hoarding like Keyshawn Vaughn, and there's a lot of people going with like the Texans running backs. At some point, you got to just pick up the talent that's there, and you can't sit there and have a bench full of maybes. Like handcuffs, if your player gets hurt, you're, like you said, Clay, you're already going to be at a disadvantage no matter what.
To me, what I've done, and this is what I've really done, like if you say you're going to get like 2 top running backs and just start them, then you have to get receivers that you trust or have high PPR value. So, you know, like a Keenan Allen, somebody who gets a lot of targets and a lot of catches to solidify the two, you know, they're great receivers, but they're volatile. You know, your Saquons, your Christian McCaffreys, your Dalvin Cooks, these guys that are going to be really, really good, but they could be injury prone. They could have issues on the team. And it's like, you know, you want to have those receivers who, if they do die, then your team doesn't fall off so much. So it's like, man, I need receivers now too, and my running back's hurt, and then you got all these problems. So I don't know. That's why I try to see it.
Yes, sir. James is back with another question. Wants to rate the squad or see how we feeling. Normally, when I look at his squads, they look pretty stacked. So I'm always like, they look good. Stafford, Cooper Kupp. Oh my goodness, are we rating this team? Lockett, AJ Brown, D. Will, Mitchell, Knox, St. Brown. He's just trying to flex at this point.
Flex, bro. Heavy flex.
Get him off the channel, man.
James, we coming for you next year, dog.
Bro, you got a squad. You got a squad, bro.
Hey, Fantasy Authority, shout out to you. Came in with the donation to St. Jude's. Make sure if y'all want to donate to the cause, you can do it in support of Adam Troutman's terrible season. Send it to St. Jude if you have any donations.
Cody's the real one for that, man. Cody's the real one for that.
Real one, bro. Thank you.
Cody, bro, we got to get you in the league next year, homie. Join the Discord. Send us a message, dog. We going to get you in the league, man.
The Discord's popping.
For real, man. This Discord been kind of lacking lately. I ain't gonna front.
Well, it's winter time. It's winter time, holidays. It happens.
Man, the draft kit next year is gonna be crazy, dog. Hey, before we get into some more questions, man, some more recap, dog. I think we came in at a time too when we were just giving in advice and like people had already been seeing different advice. And we came with like a draft kit. We came with a lot of things that we didn't get a chance really to show all of our knowledge, man. So if you guys been tapped in with us, like stay tapped in with us, man, because we're going to be giving you guys dynasty info, keeper league info, even stuff on rookies. Like just pay attention because we're not the type to like flip flop or say, hey, this person's going to be good and then say they're going to be bad. We're going to give you tangible, real advice that you can use in your leagues so you can win, man. Have a better percentage chance of winning. That's all the goal is. We're not trying to look good for ourselves, trying to help y'all win more leagues, man.
Facts.
He said, I'm just coming for you guys all next year. James, we here.
I want all the smoke, bro. I want all of it. All the smoke.
Let's go, bro.
Bring the smoke.
We're here for the smoke. Never drafting Mike Williams or Jerry Jeudy again. We talked.
Don't hold your. Hey, Jerry Jeudy, don't give up on him yet. Don't give up on Jeudy yet. Not yet.
It depends who they get on QB, bro.
I know QB matters, but Jerry Jeudy's still a young receiver, man. I think sometimes we give up on these guys. They have a first 2 seasons, it's not great. Obviously, don't draft him as a number one, but I don't think he's done yet. Just my personal opinion.
Jerry Jeudy's a talented guy. Bad situation. He's got to get a quarterback over there. If they get a quarterback, that changes my stance on him. But they did just sign Tim Patrick and Courtland Sutton, a big deal. So some of that, you got to look at contracts in fantasy. Who is your guys' biggest fantasy disappointment? I know, obviously, Jerry Jeudy is at the top of that list. Mike Williams is up there, second half of the year at least, for a lot of people. Who is your biggest, just like, person you missed on completely?
Yeah, I'm going to start it off. I would say it's going to be the rookie quarterbacks overall, and I'd probably say Laviska Shenault, if I had to. I almost had these guys on every team, on every fantasy team I had them. Again, I was looking for that Jalen Hurts year. Basically, I just picked the wrong guy. Coming out, I really, and I still think, maybe it's dumb of me to
talking about Justin Fields, right?
But yeah,
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong.
Trevor Lawrence and Laviska, all three of those guys, I still have bias because I everything that I see in Dynasty is what you want these guys to be, and they came out and this, that, and the other, but they just had horrible years. And so for me, I think it's just kind of like, hey, like temper expectations. Not every year is going to be a Justin Herbert year. Not every year is going to be a Joe Burrow year. So just kind of temper expectations that sometimes guys need 3 or 4 years. It just happens. That's just how it is. Ask Devontae Parker. He's the type of guy that broke out late. Like these guys just don't always break out their rookie years.
Yeah, definitely.
One of them said Clyde as a second rounder. There's a lot of people took Clyde early. We were fading him. I know we were telling people to fade him, but Clyde was a heavy pick too. Gaskin and Anderson, especially since I drafted him in the 5th and 6th round.
But that's kind of what I mean. I think Gaskin's got enough touches to justify it. I just don't think that he just didn't come through. I mean, not to say that I like him or anything, but I mean, he wasn't a terrible pick. I think them losing the first 7 games of the season, after the first game, they lost 7 straight, kind of hurt his value as a running back. But I don't think he had some good games, but I think that my biggest bust, and I'm just going to tell you mine personally, was Darren Waller. And I know he had
Darren Waller, is he considered a bust? Are we considering Darren Waller a bust this year?
I don't.
I think this year specific. I'm not talking about in Dynasty. I'm not talking in maybe next year's redrafts. But for this year, for this specific purpose, to say who you think busted, I think Waller had a bust year.
I don't know. I guess it depends on your definition of bust. Like to me, like. If I don't know, it's just how I look at it. Like if you're playing 100% of the snaps or 90% of the snaps and you're just not producing, then I would say you're a bust. But every time Darren Waller stepped onto the field and was playing, he was productive. So to me, I'm not hating him. I think he's still a top 4 tight end next year.
But to me, even when he did play, and I'm talking about the games he played, not even the injuries. Like injuries happen. Like it's football. I'm not a crybaby, but I'm talking about the games that he did play. If I fire him up, if I expect him to play in these games, I need him to be a top 3 tight end. He wasn't even producing.
Every time he played, he was damn near over 10 points. So
but you're talking about a guy who was drafted as high as Kelsey. And for me, if you pick a guy like that and you expect him like that. Those kind of points are cool for Jared Cook.
Are
If you
you
pick up Jared
okay?
Cook,
I was gonna say,
that's
like, are
cool.
you expecting a
No,
tight end this type of tight end to
Yeah.
get 15 or more?
If you drafted Darren Waller in the second or third round and he had 19 targets the first game and over 20 fantasy points in the first game and the rest of the season he didn't smell any of that, yeah, I'm disappointed. That's a bust to me. I'm sorry. Like, he missed games for other reasons, but for the games that he played, he didn't come through for me. As a tight end one, he didn't come through for me.
That's facts. That's facts. And obviously, everybody knows where I'm going with mine. I can say Saquon all day. But another big miss, it wasn't necessarily a huge miss in terms of like fantasy value, because I think he still has been a serviceable option. But for me, I talked about this, I think, on another episode. Nick Chubb, to me, I expected way more. I mean, he got injured. He's been playing well recently, but I think I overhyped myself, because if it wasn't for this Kareem Hunt COVID thing and injury, we probably would have seen even less of Nick Chubb. I was thinking he was going to take that like top 5 role, and he didn't, man. All Nick Chubb, man. I think he's performed recently, like I said, with Kareem Hunt out, but I expected a lot more from him, man. James said, I want Dan especially. You got a target on your head, Dan.
All right. It's good.
Headshot. He wants
it's good,
brother.
Man. It's good. I don't take no offense. Let's get it. Get in the league. I'm gonna be attacking every player you want in the auction league. You ain't gonna get nobody you like. It's good,
free
man.
Smoke,
I got you. Let's go.
Another big one. People are talking about A-Rob, man. A-Rob was a bust.
He was a bust. That's just plain and simple. That's actually a really good one. A-Rob, and I know he was hurt a little bit, had COVID, but he didn't play well.
Another really good one, Noah Fant, man. He was expected to be like that top 7 tight end conversation. It has not been. I don't even know what's Noah Fant at right now, because I feel like there was a couple weeks where I looked and he was still top 10, top 12, and then I haven't checked recently, but I don't think Noah
top
Fant's
12 right now.
That 12. See, 12 ain't bad. It's just not what you expected when you drafted him.
And the problem is with tight ends,
strong.
Tight ends are so volatile, right? Like, they could have a couple of those games where you're just like, oh man, this could be it. But then they could have games where they're like 3-4 points, and you're just like, well, what happened to him? So it's tough. That's why consistent tight ends and top end tight ends are so valuable, is because they can perform like top end receivers. And if you have that in your tight end slot, you're in such a better position than all your other opponents.
And that brings us to the next question. Obviously, with the fantasy year wrapping up, you can kind of evaluate a lot of strategies. And one strategy that, obviously we hampered on very early on was take the best player available. It's not necessarily, hey, I got to get 2 running backs in the first round. It's not avoid running backs altogether. It's take the player that you think is the best at the time that brings the most value to your team. We preach drafting high tight ends, like you mentioned, Clay, like taking a tight end early, kind of getting some of those outliers at position. And one of the questions that just came in was, do you think 0 RB is a bad strategy? I'll let you guys answer, but I'll give my take on it real quick. Absolutely not. 0 RB is not a bad strategy. Now, it depends on where you draft, what players are available when you draft. If you're in an auction league, in a standard league, there's so many questions that go into that theory. But to me, as we saw this year, running back is a position you can find towards the end of the year. People are winning with Jeff Wilson, with Roald Jones, with Dare. Like, there's so many different options right now when it comes to the running back positions. We found CPAT on waivers this year. Like, there's a lot of options that come in running backs. They get hurt so frequently that you always have a chance with a good running back. But if you miss out on a guy like JT, you're a little bit behind the 8 ball.
Yeah. Well, obviously, if you don't draft Jonathan Taylor, then of course it's going to be a bad strategy, man. Like, you have to draft that dude. But it's zero running back.
You didn't draft him.
I got him though.
Ooh,
I gotta say,
got him.
That's all I got. He's on the championship team.
Got blessed.
Blessed, overpaid, man.
Come on. Look at that trade now. You'd be like,
what was the deal?
It was so trash. It was like Mike Gesicki and it was trash. It was a trash ass deal. But I had to get Dan his guy.
Oh, Cap, you thought you won. You thought you won, Clay.
I mean, again, it just goes back to what Justin was saying. It just depends. It all depends on what is going on. Like, where do you select? Is it auction? Do you have the ability to trade with players in your league? So to me, and it's not about what strategy is like. Am I going to load up on wide receivers? Is it this is a tight end premium league, so I need 3 tight ends. Like, it's just draft the best player, man. We tell you who to draft that, and go win your leagues, man. That's what it's all about.
I'm going to tell you my take. I'm going to take you my take. I actually think zero RB is a good strategy to me. And one of my best teams, I drafted zero RB, and it was probably the best choice I ever made because I'm in the championship, one. And two, all the running backs, like you said, got hurt. I mean, mid-year, I traded for 2 running backs that were just adequate. Like, I think week 5, I traded for Leonard Fournette and James Conner, before they blew up. And so when they blew up, my team was even better. So, I mean, you can get guys in the middle. Like, you don't – and the good thing about zero RB is you don't have to have your running backs get 15 to 20 points every game. They don't need to carry your team. When you have high receiver guys, high upside guys, like it just makes it so much easier when you have a Devontae Adams or, even a Devontae Deontay Johnson who gets high targets and high catches. It'll even everything out to me. And that's how my teams look. And I think it makes it much, much better.
Well, here's my take on that. It might have worked for one of your teams, right? But then when you start going and you really analyze, all right, did it work on all of my teams if I did zero RB? It's not about did the strategy work. It's more so did you draft the right players? Because you could have came in and drafted zero RB and maybe you took Devontae Adams first and you're like, hey, let me go get Calvin Ridley. Let me get Amari Cooper next. Let me double down. Like you start going over some of these players. It's about hitting on your players. If you don't, and you're like, hey, no, I was at the back end of the first and I took Jonathan Taylor and Joe Mixon. You're like, why would I go zero RB? Because I hit on my running backs. But if you took C-Mac and then you came back and took like Josh Jacobs or maybe somebody else in that mid-tier, I'm trying to think of someone I can't. You missed.
Antonio Gibson.
You took C-Mac and Antonio Gibson. You're like, man, I hate zero. I should have went zero RB. Don't be so hard on yourself. It really comes down to best player and hitting on your players. You could have.
I got that trade. I just pulled it up.
Go ahead.
So Isaiah,
hold on. Do we think Swift is going to get a full workload of Swerve?
Yes.
Do we Swift's going to get a full workload?
Yes.
I think
Hell
so.
no.
I think you will. Why not? It's 2 games before the end.
Personally, he shouldn't even play because I'm not playing Swift. Yeah. I'm telling him sit the pine. I'll pay you to sit, but if I'm alive,
if they're going to start him, fire him up.
All right, Clay. So you gave me Jonathan Taylor, Christian Kirk, and Gesicki for Keenan Allen, Gaskins, and Corey Davis.
Trash, bro.
Keenan Allen. Basically, Keenan Allen for Taylor.
Yeah, basically.
You took the L, bro.
Big L.
Damien Harris or Zeke. Rock with Zeke on that one.
Zeke.
Rock with Zeke on that one.
Never trust the Patriots running back.
I don't know. Stevenson's out. You can trust him. We saw that last week.
Maybe. Yeah.
Swerve's asking, is it that cold? Travis, man, asking, is it that cold in Cali? Everyone's all bundled up. It's cold as shit out here right now.
It's like 78 degrees, dog.
I know.
California, bro.
75 out here.
I know. 75, dog.
Right. I just came back from Tahoe. It was cold as shit out there. So
I bet, bro. Lucky you made it back, man.
All bundled up, dude. It's freezing out here, man. It's freezing.
Hey, if it's not 90, I got a hoodie on and a beanie, bro.
Exactly. I got basketball shorts on if it makes you feel better. I wear basketball shorts and hoodies all the time. So
not me. I got
flip flops.
I got some house shoes on with the fucking hella insole in there. I'm good. Good fuck right now. Lance or Huntley, we answered this one earlier. If you got a starting option and you like it, you go with them. But if
I actually go Huntley in this one.
You go Huntley
in this. I like Trey. Don't get me wrong. Trey's
that's
dope.
Recency bias. Clay going Huntley because of recency bias, man. He had that one good game, so now you like.
It's the same team. It's the same team. If we're talking upside, give me Huntley.
I don't know. Give me Lance against the Texans, man. Lance against the Texans. I think they leave him in a good spot. So, is Cooper Kupp too early to draft mid-first round? Ooh, what are we thinking about Cooper Kupp next year, 2022? What are we doing, Cooper Kupp?
Well, I mean, you better be taking Taylor over Cooper Kupp, number one. So, no, I mean, it's not too early. I think that again, it just depends on health over the offseason. What is the status of Robert Woods? Does he leave or is he still locked in? Is he healthy? I guess just temper expectations on all first rounders, man, because I mean, there's going to be phenomenal talent that goes in the first round, but in the first round, it's kind of like just you're not going to bust usually in the first round. So but you're not going to obviously. Cooper Kupp is not going to do this next year. It's just like Dak Prescott wasn't going to throw for 6,000 yards. Like
right.
Coop is not going to go for another 2,000. But if he gets another 1,600 yards, like to me, that's a win in the first round. So
yeah, definitely.
So just temper your expectations.
I think that's the most important thing you said was just temper your expectations. And it's all about risk. Like, I mean, if you expect him to repeat 2,000 yards, then, you know, not that you're crazy, but that's quite a feat to do in 2 years back to back. I think he's still going to be a really, really good receiver.
Clay, you're not taking Cooper Kupp early first round in the top 5 picks?
Probably not in the top 5 picks.
That's cap because you just said you're going 0 RB. You think it's a good strategy. So why wouldn't you take Cooper Kupp? He's going to be the best receiver off the board next year.
Is he? Who said that?
Who's better? Who's going to be better than him next year?
I have some receivers that I would take over. I mean, he's had a great year.
Who are you taking over Cooper Kupp right now? Who? I got to hear it.
Depending on Devontae Adams' health, I'm probably taking Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill. Those are probably the 2 I would take over him at this point. At this point in the season. Cooper
Kupp and Tyreek Hill on the board next year, you're taking Tyreek Hill over Cooper Kupp?
Yeah.
God damn.
All right.
Hey, I can't be mad at that, dog. Stuck to the guns. I can't be mad at it. See, to me, I feel like Cooper Kupp, you got to take him like early first round. Like
if you get him, that's the only place you're going to get him. But do you trust him to repeat, and do you think that he's going to do this again?
No, I don't trust him to repeat, but I would say I trust him to be a wide receiver 1.
I trust him.
Would you take him over Reek?
No.
Thank you. Okay, that's all I want to know.
I'm taking him over Reek next year.
Okay, congrats.
I'll take him. Obviously, what him and Stafford got is like a special connection. Why wouldn't he be the wide receiver 1 off the board next year? And why wouldn't I take him?
So you think he's going to be the number 1 receiver?
Woods.
No, it's not about.
So you think Cooper Kupp is the number 1 receiver in the next year?
I think he's the safest receiver to take next year.
Okay.
He's safe.
Okay.
I think he's a safe number 1 wide. I think he's a safe bet to be in the top 5 next year. And that's where I would put why you take a Devontae Adams. He's a safe player to be in the top 5, and he has the upside to be the wide receiver 1. Now, when I look at Tyreek Hill, I think he's a safe bet to be a top 5 wide receiver. He's not a safe bet he's not even in the wide receiver 1 overall conversation, if you're asking me. And I think his floor is way lower than that.
You're talking about recency bias because last year he finished as the number 2 receiver. So I mean, really, you're talking about talent and versus ability. And yeah, he's had some games that have been let down this year, but I still think he has the ability and the skill and the upsides for me to say he's a top 3 receiver in this league.
I'm definitely not fading Cooper Kupp in that team. Just the situation. It's just Stafford just looks his way. Like
I'm not talking about fading him. I think you're misunderstanding kind of where we're going with Kupp. I'm not saying that.
No, I'm not. So we're talking about Kupp and Hill right now. Just these 2 right now.
Okay.
And I'm not going to fade Kupp over Hill because of the relationship that him and Stafford have. Now, Hill is a different breed too. But a lot of his shit is like chunk games. So he'll have 203 in one game. He'll have a 200-yard game here and there. And
so he's chunk game dependent? Is this Mike Evans? What is going on here, dog?
So who do you really take?
Oh, no, hell no.
Hey,
I'm not fading T. Hill. I'm not fading him. But him versus Cooper Kupp. Don't get it twisted. Him versus Cooper Kupp. I'm taking Cooper Kupp.
Okay. I'm not saying you're wrong, but you're telling me that I'm wrong for doing it because of my reasoning. Hey,
I didn't say you were wrong. I'm just challenging. I'm challenging what you said.
No. You said that's cap. You said that's cap, dog. That's cap. That's what you said.
That's cap. You're not taking him top 5. If you go 0 RB,
I probably if I have top 5 pick, I'm not taking Cooper Kupp.
The body of work for Tyreek Hill is way more than Cooper Kupp.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. If those 2 are there, give me Tyreek Hill.
This is like Amari Cooper over Mike Evans. Like we're taking Mike Evans.
This is nowhere near Amari Cooper over Mike Evans. Hell no. It's not even the same thing. Amari Cooper had no 2,000 yards.
Dan, this is recency bias. How is this recency bias? Because last year Cooper Kupp wasn't even drafted as a top 10 receiver last year.
He was 26 last year. 26 last year, and the year before he was top 5. I'll give him top 5.
So recency bias.
How is that recency bias? I'm looking at the production on the field.
Okay. So of this year, you haven't even looked at Cooper Kupp's past years. They don't matter.
Why do I need to? He didn't have Stafford. It's a different situation. If I was looking at if I was looking at just recency bias, it'd have been like, oh yeah, he's had Stafford his entire career. He had one breakout season. That's different than like being the number 1 wide receiver by a margin, even if he has a fall off. which I would expect.
The last 5 years,
Cooper Kupp to have a fall off. Don't get it twisted.
The last 5 years, Tyreek Hill has had Mahomes. Okay, look, finished PPR 8, finished number 1, finished 31 overall, which he only played in 12 games. Yep. Then he finished number 2 and number 5. That's where he's at currently, number 5.
I love Tyreek Hill.
How do you fade that?
I'm fading him. I love Cooper Kupp.
Give me Cooper Kupp over Tyreek Hill.
Oh my God!
All right, Doug. We're gonna. Hey, remember this, Dan. Dan, remember this next year, please.
We got it on video. We can bring it back.
Bring it up.
It's all gonna be brought back.
Because I'm gonna forget.
Because
I'm gonna forget.
He will be top 5.
See, this is the combo. He's the safest bet in my opinion to be top 5.
I'm not mad at it all. I was just the only thing I was mad about is you were telling me who I wouldn't pick. I'm just like I'm taking Tyreek.
Bruh, but when you say 0 or B, that's in my opinion. You saying 0 or B, that's 5 receivers you got to take over running back.
But Doug, I only get one of those picks. And if Devontae Adams or Tyreek Hill are there, I'm picking them.
All right, so 1 and 2 are gone. Number 3 pick, who are you taking?
It depends. Not everybody drafts like that. Some people are,
Taylor.
Taylor.
It's situational.
Exactly. If it's situational. I just gave you my situation. If Devontae Adams or Tyreek Hill are available, I'm picking them first. That's it.
All right. D. Adams, then Kupp. Ricky Morales says that.
Smart.
I'll fuck with that, Ricky. I'll fuck with that. I would take Kupp over Adams since Rodgers might not even be with the pack. That was what I wanted to say with Adams. If his situation changes, that to me that matters.
Of course it does. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I think we stated earlier. I think it all depends on if everyone's the same. Like it's just the same going into 2022.
Because we can only project right now with what's happening right now.
Right. But we still coming back to that. Cooper Kupp.
Coming back to that. Please. Hey, put it in your draft kit. I want you to put it on wax. Put it in the draft kit. Cooper Kupp number 1.
What have I not put on wax? I ain't scared. I ain't scared for my takes, bro.
Cooper Kupp is the number 1 overall receiver. You heard it first here.
All right, I'll say that. That's not that bold. That's vanilla. I get the vanilla cone for saying that shit. Cooper Kupp, wide receiver 1, vanilla cone.
Huntley or Burrow?
Burrow, yeah. I think you got to go Burrow in this one over Huntley. Herbert or Stafford? Who y'all like?
Herbert or Stafford?
Herbert or Stafford?
Give me Herbert.
I'm going to go Herbert, man. Mike Williams is back. Should have a little bit more weapons.
Give me
man.
Herbert. Staff's been
Eckler should be back too.
Staff's been kind of
with Eck back. Yeah, I think you go Herbert. Let's see. Tyreek Hill is like Mike Williams without
Please
the injuries.
Stop. Click. Next.
I ain't with that smooth. I get what he's trying to say, like the volatility, but that's just
They're a different type of receiver.
They are, man. Where are you taking Mike Williams next year?
I've never drafted Mike Williams, so
I'm not.
I don't know. I don't take Mike Williams.
So the player I want to go into. So obviously we had Mike Williams had like a strong start and then just completely fell off. There was a player that had a very strong start, fell off, but has now regained some of that, and that's Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is probably valued in at least top 3 for Dynasty. Some people have him 1, some people have him 2, 3. Where are we drafting Jamar Chase? Is he in the wide receiver 1 category next year?
No, he's not wide receiver 1. I think for me, if you can get him as your wide receiver 2, even wide receiver 3 in that range, then I think you won. Definitely not taking him in the first 3 rounds. I'm not doing it, especially with T. Higgins there. I'm going to fade all of that. Like I like T. Higgins more coming out than Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase has proven a little bit that he's a little bit better than what I thought he would be. But no, I'm fading Jamar Chase with T. Higgins, man. I'm not doing it.
Woo! Clay, what you got?
I can't fade Jamar Chase. I will agree. I don't think he is a top 10. I don't think he'll have the value of a top 10 receiver. I think he has that kind of upside, but to draft him in the first round, you really have to trust that ability. I think second or third round, I think that might be.
I mean, he's the 8th best receiver right now, so
I know that's
the top 10 receiver.
I mean, he is, but then you expect him to do that again next year. I don't know. I mean, but you're saying you're fading him in the top 3 rounds, which I wouldn't agree with technically, but I think he's a very good receiver. Him and Joe Burrow have that chemistry that you're talking about, and he's a big play guy. He can get catches too. I don't know. I like Chase. I like him.
I think people are going to look back on this. This is going to be one of those players. Now, if y'all paying attention with us, please, this is the reason y'all rock with us and you follow us. When you look at Jamar Chase, what's going to happen is people are going to say, oh, if you look at the stretch he had with Burrow, the first 7 games of the year, then he hit a rookie wall, and that's the reason his production in it didn't translate. Towards the second half of the year, we saw him start to blah, 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 blah. They're going to take out those middle games or the stretch where he struggled. But guess what happened? T. Higgins was there. T. Higgins is a major part of what the Bengals are going to do. And we saw that against Baltimore. There's a reason he is the wide receiver 1 for this team. He's scheduled, or he's put as the wide receiver 1 on the depth chart for a reason. He's the possession receiver, the alpha receiver. Jamar Chase is the complimentary wide receiver 2, probably among the top 5 wide receiver 2s in the game, in real football, in the game. That's what he is. T. Higgins is the dog. He's the one that's going to be the wide receiver 1 for the team unless there's an injury. But watch, everybody's going to say, take Jamar Chase. He has potential to finish as the wide receiver 1 next year. Book it. Watch it happen.
Yeah, I think what's crazy is I think Jamar Chase is going to be drafted higher than T. Higgins next year.
Like, yeah, you're probably right.
Just based
on
younger.
He's younger. They know him.
All that stuff.
Him and Burrow have a good connect. Yeah. I think you're right, Dan.
And you're going to get maximum value out of T. Higgins.
I love it. I love it. It's kind of to be honest, it's kind of the Jerry Jeudy, Courtland Sutton thing. Like a lot of people thought Jerry Jeudy was ready to take over and Courtland Sutton was still there. Like,
and they paid him middle of the year. That was kind of not strange, but they paid him in the middle of the year, and he hasn't really. I don't know. He hasn't justified that payday to me. And maybe they need to get a better quarterback in there. I think they've been missing a quarterback since Peyton Manning, but
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
Here we go. Asking for a friend, Carter, Pollard, or Vaughn for running back 2 full PPR. I think Coleman is out from COVID. Now, with regard to Carter, so Michael Carter, Tony Pollard, or Keyshawn Vaughn?
Pollard.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go with Pollard or Carter. I think Pollard is just a better opportunity to score, so give me Pollard.
Even in a tough matchup, I'd probably still go with Michael Carter, even against Tampa. They're missing a lot of receiving options for the Jets, so I probably would go with Carter in hopes that he gets you 5 or 6 catches in that game as the lead back. Is there any team you are avoiding drafting their players? I think it comes situationally. So you're going to look for, is that team a garbage team? Are they going to be passing? Are they going to be running? So to me, I avoid bad teams with no offensive line and bad running back situations. So they don't have a clear 3 down back and they're a bad team like the Jets, Jags, and Texans this year. I'm probably fading them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Like if I'm fading guys, it's going to be fading guys on like bad offenses. So whoever has the worst offenses, that's the guys that you want to fade. You don't want to have a lot of fantasy players on bad offenses because again, they're not going to score. And what do you ultimately need in fantasy is points. You want points. So you want to get those. You just want to get those touchdowns. That's what you need. So the Jaguars, for example, they had 9 passing touchdowns this year. Like we're gonna fade all of the Jags wide receivers. We're gonna fade all of the Jags. Trevor Lawrence. Like we're not gonna do that. But who was on the team with the most passing touchdowns? It was the Buccaneers. They had 37 this year. So you want the Mike Evans, you want the Chris Godwins, you want the Gronks and the ABs. Yep. Like that's who you guys want. You want the top scoring offenses in the league.
Damn, that's a good ass point, man. That is bad offenses.
This is why you pay attention, man. When Dan talks, you want to listen, man. It makes us dropping gems, man. You guys should do a whole live on Cooper Kupp versus Tyreek Hill. That's a good idea. Hey, we could debate like similar positions. I think that'd be good too. We
it's
all got
a lot.
It's a
lot. Yeah, I think when you take this year specifically, I think it was kind of a down year for Hill specifically. I think if we look at some of his other years in the past, he wasn't getting the targets, and I think they were trying to work in other guys, Byron Pringle and Hardman and some of these other guys, and COVID was an issue, and they had the Chiefs had a couple games where they were just like, are they the Chiefs? And then they won like 7 straight, and then they was like, yes, the Chiefs are back. So as a whole, yeah, Cooper Kupp had an amazing year. He is the number 1 receiver in fantasy and in football. So props to him, props to what they could do for him, finally getting a quarterback in to get him the ball, and that offense. They're scoring. They're putting up numbers.
So let me ask this, though. About Cooper Kupp and Hill. We could probably save this for another convo, but let me ask this. So Tyreek Hill obviously is a benefactor of like, hey, the fuck it throws, right? The throws, the 50-yard throws. He gets probably, I would say, 20 to 30% of his fantasy production on that, right? And teams obviously started playing the two deep now, so they're eliminating that. They know that the Chiefs are tougher to beat with that being the offense. When it comes to the Rams, how is it going to be any different though? Like, what would teams do differently? Cooper Kupp is a yak guy. He's a possession receiver. He's going to get 10 to 15 targets from Stafford no matter what. We've seen that consistently throughout the year, no matter who has been on him coverage wise. He plays up the slot, so he gets a lot of short yardage throws. He gets deep yardage throws. He's not like Tyreek Hill is either short or really long, whereas Cooper Kupp is all three levels. To me, what's stopping Cooper Kupp in your eyes from maybe not doing obviously 1,800 yards and 130 receptions,
touchdowns.
Yeah, whatever he's doing right now, but maybe one step below that? What's stopping him really from repeating a season like this?
Oh, I don't think there's anything to stop Cooper Kupp. I mean, I've liked Cooper Kupp for a long time, even when he had Jared Goff. I just don't think. What's wrong with your face? You okay?
Yeah, no, but so you say there's nothing stopping him from repeating that, but then why wouldn't you take him in over like a Tyreek Hill? Because Tyreek Hill has Tyreek Hill even had this kind of season?
I mean, 130. I mean, he's had a ton of catches.
132.
He's had a top one season.
He's had a top one season.
Yeah,
Tyreek Hill. I'm looking at Tyreek Hill's best season right now.
I mean, dog. I don't know if you know Tyreek Hill is, but
I know who Tyreek Hill is. So his best catch season has been this year, 104 catches. That's his best season. He's had 87 receptions outside of that. His best season.
He puts up big yards, 1,400.
He gets touchdowns, man. That's what he gets.
His last season over 1,200 yards was 2018. He had 1,400 yards.
He's only had one season under 7 touchdowns, and that was his rookie year.
Okay, but what I'm saying though, guys, is I know we're vouching for Tyreek Hill. I get it. Like I'm trying to just not basically saying versus Cooper Kupp. If we're not expecting a big letdown, Cooper Kupp has 132, 1,714. Say it's a tier below that and he's more like 115 with 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns. That's still like in the top echelon of Tyreek Hill's career numbers.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, sure. I think the biggest thing is Stafford going to be the same cat moving forward than in year 2? Like, we need to know, like, Staff came on. I mean, it's a lot of times, like, players, like, they come on and they either do horribly or they do good in year 1. So let's see what happens. Like, Robert Woods is going to come back. Like, let's just see what Cam Akers is supposed to come back and maybe run the tote a little more. So that means it's going to take away from Stafford. Like, we don't want Stafford throwing a million times a game. Like, he's shown that he could throw picks, he could throw stats. It's like Stafford is a game manager. Like, that's who he is. That's what he does. Like, we don't want Stafford to do more than that. So, it's just kind of like similar to like the Dak Prescott thing of the offseason. Like temper it. Like, Zeke should be healthy. Like, this is the first time Zeke's been healthy in a minute. So, like, you're getting like a more balanced offense, and you see the Dallas Cowboys, like, they're putting up the most points in the game. Like, they're 30 and a half points a game. Is because they show the balance that they need. So, I mean, and again, you don't see any receiver putting up historic numbers. Like, Cooper is not putting up historic numbers. CD's not putting up historic numbers, but they are efficient. I think that's what the Rams are trying to do, is get to that mold. And, I think, again, defense second year with the scheme with Stafford, like, they're going to figure out Kupp. They're not going to figure him out completely. I think he's going to be a great receiver. There's nothing wrong with Kupp. There's nothing wrong with Tyreek. Both of those guys are going to be phenomenal, but I think it's just temper the expectations on Kupp with Robert Woods coming back and Cam Akers coming back. Kupp is the only option on the team. So, like, they have to funnel targets to him. That's how I look at it. Like, you have to go with Cooper Kupp.
I think
no one else.
I think no matter what you say, he's already sold on Cooper Kupp, which is fine. You're looking at a guy who's putting up 2,000 yards, damn near 2,000 yards, 150 catches is probably what it'll end up being. I mean, he's a great receiver. Nobody's taking anything away from Cooper Kupp, and I think what he's done this year is absolutely beyond anybody's expectations of him and Stafford, that connection. But and we've seen Stafford do it before. He had Calvin Johnson, and he put up 1,700 or 1,800 yards in a single season. So, and that was with one less game. So, I think now that we're looking at Cooper Kupp and what he's been doing and what he's been able to do with this team is historic, obviously. And I think for fantasy purposes, I'm just going to bring it back a little bit. For fantasy purposes, I want a guy like Tyreek Hill. Like, he's just an explosive dude. He's just that guy. Not to say that Cooper Kupp isn't, but I've seen Tyreek Hill have 200-yard games and 3 touchdowns and 12 catches. And I mean, I look for that kind of upside, especially.
I feel like Cooper Kupp won't lose you the game, but Tyreek can sure win it.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I look at it. Like, I don't know, one game on the line.
But I feel like Cooper Kupp will win you a week too. Like, I don't know. I just feel like he ain't getting the respect he deserves. And like this, the comment says, we could do a whole live stream on this.
Oh, absolutely.
I look at the point you made. The point you made, though, Dan, was a good point. Cam Akers coming back, the running game, the focus on that. OBJ is going to be healthy. Robert Woods probably going to be back. I don't know if he's going to be back or not with the contract. Van Jefferson, there's a lot of options there. It's just I look at what Cooper Kupp did, even with those options there this whole season, and his production really didn't tail off whether all the receivers were healthy, all the backs were healthy. Like, to me, I don't know, just a clear case of, like, this is the guy you want. So, yeah. It is what it is, man. Like you said, we could debate that shit all day, and one of us will be right, one of us will be wrong. It doesn't matter. It's fantasy football at the end of the day. Last one before we get off, man. You guys want to answer a few more, or are you guys good?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, a few more good. Quick.
Yeah.
Let's do a couple quick hitters. And should both Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelsey be first-round picks next year? They were both back-end first-round picks this year. Kelsey was like borderline first, second.
I don't hate him. I don't hate that. I think back in first round picks seems about where they should go. Kelsey, man, he's just getting older though. You got to really understand in the tight end position is tough. But I mean, he's still Kelsey, and I'm gonna probably give him one more year for Kelsey. Tyreek's probably got another 2-3 years left, but Kelsey, back in round 1. But I think honestly, I think those two are gonna be faded. Just based on the year, even though they had a great year, like both of them had good years, but they're just not the years that we are accustomed to. Yeah. So, like, I think that both those guys become like high-end second rounders to maybe mid-tier second rounders by next year's time. I'm pretty sure that they'll be around that.
I just think that Travis Kelsey, man, there's just so few tight end options that can do the volume and the numbers that he does. Facts. And even after a year, next year, I mean, if you say you don't want to draft a tight end in the first, I get that. Then just fade that tight end position and go to the next. But I mean, I mean, he hasn't shown anything where he shouldn't be a top round pick.
Yeah, I mean, look at all
40 bomb last week
in since 2016. He finished 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and this year 2.
Yeah.
I mean, dude's just amazing at the tight end position. Yeah. But like I said, because he finished 2, I guarantee he's going to be a back end, early second round pick.
I hope so. I hope so.
And that's value.
If he's a back end, I'll take him for a back end. Send him.
Shit, back end's good. Kittle's up there too, man.
Kittle's up there. Mark Andrews.
Maybe.
Mark Andrews is number 1 tight end this year.
I know, but still, I don't know. Just something about it, man. I don't know.
Nice. He's nice.
I'm still gonna take Waller, man, over Mark Andrews. I'm not fading Waller. I'm not gonna do it.
Come on, dog. Are you capping now? Are you capping?
Yeah.
Are you capping?
Nah,
are you capping, dog?
I'm gonna take Waller.
Is it because I said it? Is it because I said it earlier?
Nah, book it.
Is it because I said it earlier?
I'll take Waller. Slide Waller.
Keenan Allen or Rashad Penny at the flex?
Is Keenan Allen good? Is he good?
Keenan Allen.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay, Keenan Allen. That's easy.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why you maybe. Oh, he's because last week he had a down week. Last week, I think you can't fade Keenan Allen. PPR, I think you have to go Keenan Allen. In standard, I'm not mad if you start Rashad Penny. Actually,
yeah, agreed.
Yeah, even though Smooth saying there's Robert Woods, OBJ, Van Jefferson competing for targets over Kupp, Hill still has to compete with Hardman, Pringle, and Robinson. I mean, they ain't the same options.
That's not the same.
He's been competing with them all year, still pulling up numbers. I get what he's trying to say. He's throwing
them.
Mahomes has been spreading it out a little bit more lately.
He has been. So. And you've seen that Byron Pringle and Hardman have been getting a little bit more.
And you know what? And that's kind of needed for the Kansas City Chiefs because look what happened at the early year when he wasn't doing that.
And I have a strange feeling that we're going to see another receiver opposite of Tyreek Hill next year. I have a strange feeling we're going to see them invest in somebody that's going to come in there, somebody a lower option, maybe like an Antonio Brownish type player that comes in there.
Allen Robinson?
That'd be a nice. That'd be a
You're
nice.
going to clip that back up, Dan, when it happens.
Yeah,
We're going to clip that back up.
That's
An
nice.
undervalued receiver.
I need the Bills to grab Allen Robinson.
Like
Come
an
on,
OBJ, something like that. Something like that's going to happen.
That'd be nice.
All right, last one for today. Would you start Mahomes or Hurts this week?
Never fade Mahomes.
Never.
Don't do it.
Fade Mahomes.
Don't
Say
do
it with
it.
us.
Please
Never
don't do it.
fade
We are
Mahomes.
not fading Mahomes against the Bengals this week. That does it.
Never.
We are going to get off for this New Year's edition of the GawdsCast. If y'all been tapping with us for this long, appreciate you guys rocking with us. Make sure y'all subscribe, follow along. It's been a hell of a year for the Fantasy Gods. We've talked about it at length. It's almost 25,000 on TikTok, developing on other platforms. You guys have helped us grow as content creators, as analysts, if you want to call us that. You guys have helped us grow. And hopefully we helped you guys with fantasy info, winning leagues. We'll be back with Start and Sit tomorrow morning. I may be on for part of it. I think Dan and Clay will both be on to help you guys win your championship weeks. But overall, 2021, we got to say goodbye to y'all. And 2022, wishing nothing but fantasy success. Anything before we head off, guys?
Man, just thank you guys for rocking with us. We appreciate every single follower that we have. And, cheers to 2022, man. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. I wish we had some pop bottles on this motherfucker, man.
Pop. No, thank you. Thank you for all the support. We're going to run it back. It's going to be even bigger and better next year. Look for the Gods Leagues. And man, thank you guys. You guys are dope, man. Sharing this platform, sharing this stage, sharing this opportunity. You guys have just been, my boys. Can't say anything more. Let's get it.
Yeah. We're going to keep rocking with y'all, man. And yes, sir. Much love to Dan, Clay. We're going to turn this thing up, run it up a little bit more. That does it for the GawdsCast. We out, man.
We out, baby. Woo!